So you started your angel investment journey in 2014.
Yeah, correct.
Do you remember the first investment you made as an angel?
That I remember because that was a very hard way again. It took me about 8 months before I made up my mind of investing startups. See, listed equity में आते हैं ना तो बैलेंस शीट है, P&L है, कैश फ्लो है, क्या क्या है, यहाँ है कुछ नहीं है. So how do you bridge your mind? Right, कि यार कहाँ पे क्या देख रहा हूँ मैं. And I had to hear probably 20, 30, 40, I don't know how many pitches before I actually understood कि boss, you have learned, you have to unlearn, you have to relearn. Right, so that's the code which you have to get into your head.
And startup में तो you have to do that every 3-4 years. कि learn to unlearn.
Anirudh, in the current circumstances, I think so we have to do it every year now. Everything is going faster, right? The AI is taking, the curve faster than us. But yes, I mean, that's what I did. So Qwench Library Solutions, that's the name. I got my first check written through the platform, which was Indian Angel Network. That's where I began my first check and first journey. And of course, that, pehla pyar, pehla luck, pehli investment, to chali wo. So that was a good thing. I mean,
I think it was a 5x exit for you.
Yeah, I managed to have that 5x in matter of 4 years.
Wow.
So that was a good outcome. I would consider as a first, learning. And that's where, I mean, when I invested, I realized that, because of, some experience helps you.
Correct.
Right? 2008 till 14, I was in public markets. And would have don't know how many con calls or how many investments ideas I would have myself evaluated or had a research coverage. So the knack of understanding the behavior pattern of a person, especially losing the 10 lakh rupees back then.
Right.
So I remembered कि अब देखना क्या है. So that is one of the reason I would consider that I would not say I am highly successful in this business, but certainly relatively much better than probably my counterparties. And that's only because you have that legacy with you to understand the founder in that way. And that helped me in the first 2 investments of mine, which has recovered my entire invested capital till date, whatever I've done.
But it's very interesting, 2014, because, I was very much in a similar case as yours, right? Also coming from a stockbroking family and trying to convince them that startup is the next thing to do. And for me, the only one word was there, the unlisted में सिर्फ scam होते हैं, पैसे नहीं बनते. Right? And I'm sure you felt that. But you were actually a trader. I was not a trader. I came from the US. So I was not actually a trader to go. I knew any idea of Indian market, right? But you did. And then I'm sure you heard 10,000 more types of advice than I did, right? Because I only had 1 frame or 2 frames of advice, my dad and my uncle, right? And nobody else. But for you to go from public market, and all this respect of a public market, suit, boot, etc., to going straight, I am going to go after companies that have zero history,
Correct.
Right? And I'm going to do that. What you must have had some vision to do that, because today all public market investors are now in private stocks. I don't think anybody is not there. But at that time, it was a very rare thing. And quite honestly, unlisted stock was considered to be a scam.
Yeah, correct.
Right? I'll make that clear.
Absolutely.
If somebody said, I do unlisted, matlab, ye to scamster, isko to nikalo yahan se.
Yes.
Right?
Impression.
But you obviously, that was the impression, right? Because scam hi hote the uske andar, right?
Yes.
Grey market and all that used to be called. Yeah. Today, very different. But, to have that vision to do that 10 years ago, what was really that you thought was going to happen that you made that kind of a choice?
That was very clear. I'll be coming in this show. So I have to do something.
You heard it.
So, but jokes apart, I mean, 2014, the point was, during my listed equity period of that point, I was not able to get through meetings with the listed equity founders because of the check size. So I realized that whatever I invest in listed equities, my check size is still not that big enough. How the institutions are. And they have a better access of understanding about the business because of the direct access to the founders.
Got it.
So my hunch was that I wanted to get into an ecosystem where I'm able to interact with the founders directly and learn from them about the new technologies or new emerging stuff. Because बाकी सारे तो outdated है, वो तो सभी कुछ पता है. So I was not also inclined to do something traditional. Right? I was already doing traditional stuff. And I took that call that probably it won't survive that today. Right? So something has to be learned. And either, I don't come from that tech background. So for me, it was not a choice to, start a tech company. But obvious then the next point is that मुझे तो यही आता है investment करना. तो investment से सीखेंगे. And अब की बार थोड़ी मेहनत ज़्यादा होगी. So I was okay to do that since मेरे पास पूरा time था.
Correct.
And that's where I got in. क्योंकि मुझे सीखना भी था. I wanted to learn. And I wanted to have the access to the founder and do it full time. And there was no vision at all what I am doing today as a fund manager or running a fund like this. Absolutely not. Idea was to just, do what you love. And that was a great time, I would say, when I was doing.
I think Sanjay Mehta said it best at an event. He said that, the startup is the only place where you actually, as an investor, have an ability to influence the result.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, he's right. He's right. Absolutely right. I also consider him as one of the, mentors at the early stage where he was very, active in the ecosystem as far as the angel network was concerned. And he was very proactive and vocal about, supporting startup ecosystem and what should be the thought process as an investor.
Correct.
So that was another, see, before getting to startup ecosystem, the thought process was very clear. पैसे डालने हैं, पैसे बनाने.
Correct.
ठीक है, और बीच में information है. Right? And you have to know how to play the information. That's a skill set. When I got into this system and spending about 2-3 years ago, मुझे लगा कि यार ये ऐसा नहीं है. This is the place you have to give. You have to give. You have to learn. You have to give, and you have to help. Right?
So give in terms of money or more than that?
पैसे तो देना ही है आपको. पैसे तो देना ही है. पैसे के अलावा क्या देना है? So when you are sitting, if you know something, you are sharing that insights with the founders. Because see, all these early stage founders also come with a lot of things which is new to them also, as far as running an organization is concerned.
That's so
Idea
true.
can be, anybody's business, but then to run an organization is not easy. Second thing is, once you are the investors, what are the responsibilities you need to take care of? There's another part, right? Third is, of course, data. I mean, as simple it might look for us, between us, how to read a P&L or balance sheet or how to do a KPI. And we might ask the founders in a very simplistic way. It's not as simple for tech. I mean, if somebody asked me today that how to, do the structure, decode AI and the entire back, working, I would not be able to do it, in all honesty. And the same way I would expect the founders who don't come from finance background of how to do it. So that is where, you exchange ideas. That's where you bring everybody on the same page. And that's the learning and sharing happens. And connecting people. Again, it is another part. The good part
that's
is
very true. That I think you do get it, especially in the startup ecosystem. It's a lot about after investing, what can you bring to the table?
Right, absolutely.
Can you bring a network? Can you bring advice? Can you bring experience? Something has to be brought besides money.